So the overall mindset behind the writing style for this band has always been to try to sort of strike a balance between being as interesting as possible and also as enjoyable as possible. We want all the parts to be sort of interesting for maybe more of an analytical listener, someone who maybe plays an instrument. Hopefully it'll keep their attention to be interesting to them, but we also want it to be enjoyable for a more casual listener and just to always have a lot of feel and a lot of groove to it.
The writing process usually starts with Jared, Sammy, or I just at home on our computer with a guitar, and we'll just kind of jam out ideas or riffs, and then once we're satisfied with how that sounds, we'll tab it out in a program called Tab It.
So once we have like an idea that we like, a lot of times one of us will kind of get stuck at a certain point, and that's when we can send the Tab It files between each other and sort of help each other flesh out the rest of the song, and it'll go back and forth like that until the song is eventually finished, and we'll keep tweaking things along the way, all the way up, even through recording, until we get the song where we want it.
So on this record, we really went all out on the drums with getting the best of the best as far as equipment goes. So let me show you what we're working with here. As you can see, it's pretty crazy setup. You got your pulse hi-hats, variety of heads, just tuned them. So typically with the drums, Jared or Michael will send over some parts, and I will listen to the rough drums that they include on those for about a day or so, and then I'll end up taking the drums out and then just listen to the guitar parts to kind of get a vibe of what I want to do with them. And I would say that the overall goal when writing drum parts is to come up with drums that are fun to play, but that also are interesting and engaging for the listener with the level of technicality.
So the recording process this time was a little different than the previous two albums. Michael and Jared had started getting into recording, so it just made sense for them to track guitars and bass at home. And then for vocals and drums, we went to the Vessel Productions, which are in Fur in Newportsville, Indiana.
The good thing about recording guitar and bass on our own was that we could work at our own pace, and we could really experiment and develop each part to make it sound exactly the way we wanted it to sound.
Well, we all decided to name the album Telos because it's a Greek word that means goal and or purpose. And a lot of the lyrics really connect with what the purpose is in life. A lot of us just decide to go on and just do our own thing and not really think about what our purpose is. And we really hope that the listener can connect with that, regardless if they're going through a hard time or they're going through a great time, that each one of these songs really means something to them and help them realize what their purpose is.